Start recording the video, baby. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Beats and Beatdowns, the linking of double bass and pummeled face. Now for your hosts, Span and Alfonso.
Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready, sir.
It's time for another edition of Beats and Beatdowns. It is the podcast where a rock star and a rock radio DJ talk fight, sports, and rock news while dogs love to fight in the background. I'm Span, the rock radio DJ.
I am Alfonso, the guy trying to book a trip to St. Thomas because I'm going on vacation.
Yeah, when is it? When are you going on vacation to St. Thomas?
March 24th.
Actually, okay.
What?
Okay, I shouldn't have said that, and here's why. Okay, kitty, cut that out. Okay, I'm scratching one dog. The two dogs in the background is clickety-clacketing.
And the cat's just up here.
Man, the cat's tail's all up in it, man. It's a damn menagerie in here. But anyway, my Detroit training told me, you don't put in a public forum when you're not going to be home. That's ridiculous.
Somebody will be home, though. I have roommates.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I keep forgetting.
I'm gone March 24th through the 31st.
Okay, so 7 days in St. Thomas, huh?
Technically 6 because my flight leaves that Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a layover in Miami.
How many stops do you have to get there?
So I'm looking at it, and it's like I leave Wednesday from Detroit to Charlotte, North Carolina, Charlotte to Miami the same day. And then my flight doesn't leave to St. Thomas till the Thursday. It leaves at 8:35 in the morning and gets there at 11:15.
Okay.
So I'll stay at my dad's that night, and then we'll leave to St. Thomas.
Okay.
And we'll get there Thursday morning.
Wait, you have literally a 24-hour layover?
No. So 10:27 p.m. to 8:35 a.m.
Ugh, that's rough.
So like...
Yeah, like enough to sleep.
Enough to sleep, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So it's just one stopover. It's
Yeah,
just,
one
you
stopover.
got a 12, damn near 12-hour layover, 10-hour layover.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so that's a lot of time wasted flying and waiting, but whatever.
Yeah,
you get
yeah.
6 of them in St. Thomas.
So I got insurance, so I may put the flight, I may put it so we come back the 1st of April. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
I'd like 7 days, but 6 is fine.
Okay. Okay.
I just want to show my wife a good time, man. I want to go out there.
That's wonderful. I'm just like, the dogs are clickety-clack. Let me see if I can show the dogs behind me. Yep. There they are.
Just going
the
nuts.
dogs we've been talking about for months now.
You
can finally see them.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably have to put Pablo in his cage again. He's never learned his lesson.
He really doesn't, man. Like, them two, like, they just trying to eat each other's faces.
Yep, basically.
All in, I guess, good doggy fun. It's like, I don't think there's any human equivalent for wanting to beat each other up and chomp on each other.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
But yeah, we are having a good time doing this second edition with video.
Yeah.
This is crazy. We're going to get them loaded up to YouTube so you can see our sexy mugs. Your hat yesterday, how the hell did you keep it on your head? Because, like, it was just, you put it there and it just stayed. I was like, what the hell magic does he do?
Just keep it out there, bro.
Oh, shut up. Just it's like one of those, I just got them kind of skills, man.
That's right.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, we have some stuff to talk about today. John Schaffer showed up in court, but is Iced Earth dropped from Century Media?
I would assume.
We're going to get to the bottom of that. And then, ex-Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno is crowdfunding for what? I will tell you. Which will also lead us to a discussion about another guy who's crowdfunding, who I hate discussing, but this is the business we're in. And then the UFC pay-per-views.
Yeah, that's this weekend. That's Saturday,
No.
right?
I mean, views. Like, there are... I mean, I'm looking at some of them coming up. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
And our Haymaker hashtag is going to be absolutely sweet. But before we get to all that, Alfonso, do you have any social media scraps?
Hey, Alfonso, who are you fighting with today? Give us that social media scrap of the day, man.
I don't. I have steered clear of social media today because I've been working and then I've just been tired. So
You've been tired.
Yeah,
Mister,
I get tired.
I work 7,000 hours a week. Is tired.
That's why I'm tired. That's exactly why I'm tired.
Well, it's good you get to have days off. 'Cause, man, your schedule is exhausting for anybody. Good grief. But kicking things off, our man John Schaffer was in court. Iced Earth's John Schaffer, as per Blabbermouth, he made his first court appearance, and he's going to stay in jail till at least Friday because the FBI had to snatch his ass because not only did he show up at the riots, not only did he participate in the riots, but he actually sprayed bear mace. So, like, bruh, like, that is not a good look. Not at all. That's not good to do at the supermarket, at the gas station. It's not even good to do in your own home if other people are there. So doing it in a federal building into cops' faces, man, you're kind of a piece of garbage.
You know, these guys just think that they're like, you know, they're like, I'm sticking it to the man, you know, and it's just like, no, you're actually going to stick it in your own ass because you're going to get totally screwed. Listen, man, like, has TV taught you nothing? You don't mess with the federal government. They will just literally screw you till kingdom come. Just don't screw with the federal government in these situations.
Arrogance is a hell of a drug.
You know? It's like, I still, for the life of me, don't understand why people think that they can, like, still, like, cheat on their taxes. I'm just like, when has anyone ever gotten away with cheating on their taxes? Literally no one.
No, that's incorrect. There's a whole bunch of rich people.
No, like, yeah, but like through legal means. But what I'm saying is, like, when has somebody who has knowingly and illegally not paid taxes on purpose, like, completely not like with a lawyer, not like finding all the loopholes and like the million tax laws that there are, but like somebody like Wesley Snipes, for example, right?
Oh.
Like that. That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, when are people going to learn that you just straight don't do that? Like, that's just like, you're not going to get away with it, bro. And so, like, messing with, like, the federal government is, like, the dumbest thing you could possibly do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is, but it doesn't stop people from doing it.
No, yeah, for sure.
Why?
And, you know, like, now, I would be more apt to defend noble reasons.
Oh, my God,
like,
you look so much better. You're like senators.
Like,
oh, my God. I'm not OCD about much, but in this case, clearly something's messing. Now I'm seeing a spot on my shirt. God. It's not
like,
going to move in so it's not visible on camera.
Like Edward Snowden, right? Like, if it's like that, like, you know, I'll sympathize with that. But, like, now guys like this, like, get out of here, bro. Shut up. You deserve to be in jail.
Yeah, well, he's going to be in the clink till at least Friday. I read off all the cases in our all the charges against him. But, I mean, at least 200 people are being investigated by the FBI. And here's the funniest thing. This is something there was so much to talk about in the previous days. We haven't really talked much about this factoid about it, but like, the FBI has received roughly 140,000 digital media tips from the public.
Jesus.
Yes. And I don't even know if that includes... Remember when we discussed Parler and how they were shut down and you told me a hacker had basically like hoovered up all the information?
Yeah.
Well, like, it was just revealed today that two things. One of the backers of Parler is Rebecca Mercer. She's the daughter of Robert Mercer.
Why does that name sound familiar?
Because Robert Mercer is a billionaire supporter of Republican causes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Mercer. Yeah. That
Yes.
name sounds really familiar.
Yes.
Mercer.
He's donated a lot of money to a lot of Republicans.
Okay.
But yeah. So the guy who is the CEO of Mercer has some type of murky relationship with a chick in Russia. And so now Parler is going to kind of slowly boot back up, but with the help of Russian funding. And we don't necessarily know which Russian will be funding Parler. So if you are putting your personal information into Parler, you are literally handing it over to the Russians.
That's such a sticky situation.
I know, man. Like, when I saw it, I was like, wait, what? What?
Wow. Wow.
So yeah, that's what's up with that in particular, as it pertains to Parler. But what does that have to do with Ice Earth's John Schaffer? Well, a whole bunch of other people have been like that 140,000 pieces of data that people have. That's all stuff that's like people have. You gonna break up? Yeah, yeah, there comes a point where all that racket, the clickety clacketing. Here, just watch Alfonso at work with his kids. But yeah, like it's usually Pablo, the dark one. That came off awful.
That was racist. That was racist.
We're on camera, Shay. Beware.
Couldn't have caught the worst picture of her.
You can go through the garage.
No, she can't.
No, I'm gonna go through the garage and be outside and go through the garage. Oh, poor Shay. She's in her grooming mode, and apparently she don't. She says she just went to the gym and took a shower. She wants to cook food. Well, you are visible. I can see you right now. You got to duck lower. You are not slick at this at all, Shay. You're not slick at all. But okay. So all this information is 140,000 pieces of stuff that these people have uploaded to social media on their own.
Yeah.
Like friends and family have been ripping pictures and videos out of Facebook, out of Twitter, and sending them to the FBI to be like, yo, my cousin, he was there. This is him. Like, I know his face. So it's one thing for people to document their own nonsense, but they're being turned in by their own family members. Like,
can you imagine how much of a piece of shit you have to be for like your family to go out of their way to contact the FBI and be like, yo, he was there. Here's a picture.
Actually, have you heard the name Mark Gosar?
The name sounds familiar.
Okay. Mark Gosar is a representative from Colorado, I believe.
Okay.
And he has 4 or 5 brothers and sisters. He is in a deep red district, so when he won the nomination, the likelihood he was going to be the representative from that district was like, it was a lock.
Yeah.
But even so, his brothers and sisters made a TV ad saying, don't vote for Paul Gosar. Like, vote for anybody else.
Oh, I remember this.
Yes.
I heard about this. I heard about this. Yeah, and I was like, can you imagine how much of a piece of shit? I said the same thing. Can you imagine how much of a piece of shit you have to be for your own family to go up against you and be like, bro, yo, don't vote for this mug?
Yes, man. They straight up, they're just like, don't vote for our brother. Don't vote for our brother. We love him, but he's bad for this country. Don't vote for our brother. And he still won, of course.
Of course.
But he's getting caught up in this mess because he may have actually escorted some people around the Capitol the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's him, I think Boebert, and maybe Ron Johnson, I guess. So we're looking at some serious heavy nonsense. But the whole point of this is John Schaffer. He is definitely going to be going down. I mean, I can't see. I mean, they got video, they got pictures. I mean, they're gonna have testimony because people. The funny thing about these white supremacist folks who get involved in this nonsense, they're cowards and they don't want to go to jail.
Of course.
So whatever they can do to get their time decreased, they're gonna sing like a canary.
Well, here's what I think. I'll be honest with you. I really don't think that the people that were there that didn't cause any like damage or whatever, but they were there at that process or were like inside the building. I don't see those guys dealing with a lot, like in the sense of like, I don't think that the heavy hand of the law is going to like smack them straight upside the head and send them to jail for like months on end. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's way more of a hassle for district attorneys and all that other stuff for that paperwork to like go after every single one in the same way, right? I think that basically like a guy like John Schaffer who correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he like really did anything. Like nobody caught him on film that I know of.
Oh no,
like,
they got pictures of him on Blabbermouth holding the bear mace. And there's tons of testimony that bear mace was sprayed.
Okay.
Now he I guess if he pleads not guilty,
yeah.
he can try and say it wasn't my bear mace, which is possible. Maybe there's other people with bear mace.
For sure.
But he was still there inside the building with bear mace.
No, yeah. So if it's something like that, then maybe he'll get some, maybe a little bit more like in trouble or whatever. But to the people that were like just there and maybe like stormed in but really didn't do anything, were just like yelling, I don't really see like a lot of things happening to those people just because it's a lot of paperwork. Now, no doubt, like the people that like broke a bunch of shit and like were like just stealing shit from the White House and doing all that.
Yeah, the bust of Lincoln apparently is gone.
Yeah. Like, so that kind of stuff, I think those people will definitely see the heavy hand of the law. But the other people, I think it's just more of like to be made examples of rather than like do much more of like, give those people like a ton of jail time. I don't see that being practical for anyone involved in that. But more so, I see the symbolism of like rounding up everybody and telling everybody we rounded all those people up. We did put charges on them. I think that just sends a clear message. Are all those people going to see like their charges like go through? I don't think so. It just really depends on what they did, but I don't think you're going to see like. But I think it's good that they're rounding all those people up anyway. They really need to. I think at the end of the day, that's what needs to happen regardless, because you need to send a clear message of like, yo, that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? That's not okay at all. Like, if those people wanted to be at the Capitol and protest, fine, whatever, bro. I'd support that. Like, regardless if I agree with their nonsense or not. But once like they went through and like they started like bringing into the to the Capitol building and all that other stuff, that's a whole different like ball game. You're now, to me it's the same thing as destroying public property at a like you just shouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it wasn't warranted. I feel like here's the thing: people are going like, oh, they're patriots, blah blah blah. We need to take this country back, and it's like, in some aspects, I could agree with that idea and notion in the sense of like, if there was a just cause, right, for us to like do that, I would get behind it. So for example, let's say Donald Trump ended up somehow finding a way to cheat his way back into office for a second term, and we proved that like he cheated or whatever else, and he was basically like undermining the Constitution, right? I would agree with going there and like literally ripping that guy out of office and everybody who helped him. Like, I would agree with that. Guns or not, like, I don't care. I think that's the American thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, once your government becomes tyrannical like that, then I believe in that. But the reasons for this was there was no reason. It's like the guy lied, like clearly lied, and we proved him that he was lying 60 times, right? Yes. So that's why I'm not behind any of those people.
Actually, he didn't even get to the point that he was lying because, and this is something that these people don't seem to understand, for all the talk about irregularities, balloting, like illegal ballots and all that stuff, they presented none of that evidence in court. Yeah. Evidence in quotes. So like whatever they was calling evidence, they did not produce it in court. So you had a whole bunch of like cases where they was going in talking about like, your evidence, this is a nonsense, this has been wrong, this is, and they're like, so what evidence do you have? And they're like, none, Your Honor. It's like, so you're just saying that we should overturn this election for this district basically because you say so? Yes, Your Honor. Yeah. Get out of the court. Like, fine for the plaintiff, get out.
Yep. So to me, like, that's the difference for me, right? Like, if we were dealing with like a real like, issue to like, national, like a, like the tyrannical government or something like that. Yeah, bro. I've always said, like, I don't care. I'll say this out loud. Like, I've always said that the only way that we're going to see this country change and how we want it to change, in my opinion, and for me, what change is get rid of the federal bank. We need to get rid of that.
The federal bank, really?
Absolutely. Dude, are you kidding me? Like that, like there's no reason why we can't print our own money. Why are we hiring a bank that has nothing to do with the federal government, but we call it the federal bank, and paying them interest on money to print for us when we can literally print it ourselves? Like, that makes no sense. That's stupid.
Bro, I have so many questions.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
This is such a deeper conversation as it pertains to the federal bank. I have I gotta read some articles.
You don't know about the federal, like, do you know enough information about the federal bank?
I've heard, the Fed, as I've known it to be called.
Yep.
That's not. I'm not saying it's not called the federal bank.
No, it's the Fed. Yeah, that's what they call it, the Fed. Yeah, exactly.
And the Fed determines interest rates, and those interest rates determine how much lending banks do and at what rates they do. But when we say banks are federally insured, aren't they insured by that bank? And that's why they can dictate the rates? I mean, I'm asking because I don't know.
I believe so, but for me, it's like it's basically like the central bank, right? Like, that's what it is. So basically what I'm getting at is the central bank, federal bank, whatever, we go to them and they print our money. They charge us interest on that money that's printed, right? The United States does not print long story short, the United States government does not print its own money. That's a fact.
I thought the Treasury, that's what they do.
No, we borrow that money from the federal bank, right? It's crazy. It's an insane thing.
So the federal bank are you saying the federal bank is a private institution?
Yeah. 100%. Like, I'm surprised you didn't know this.
But, okay, dude, I'm a smart dude and I'm knowledgeable, but like, I ain't infallible.
No, like,
there's a whole bunch of stuff.
like, look it up.
The Fed... The heads of the Fed are appointed by the federal government. How is it a private industry? Like, why is it a private business?
Because it's not ran by it's 100% private. It is not owned by the federal government at all whatsoever. Like, they charge us interest to print money. Like, I'm not making that up. Like, that is like 100% like fact. Like, so there's a whole...
I'm thinking of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, Federal Reserve is different, right? So the federal bank is that's something different. So we get our money from the federal bank. Like, they charge us interest to print money. Like, it's not a government institution. It's like a private institution. Like, this is where like all these like crazy like conspiracy theories about like, you know, like the Rockefellers and all that stuff comes from, right? Kind of this stuff. And there's, you know, the crazy theory of like the reason why John F. Kennedy was assassinated was because he wanted to get rid of the federal bank, blah, 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 blah. Like, so long story short, that you can look into it. It's really interesting. There are facts. Of course, there's a bunch of crazy stuff on YouTube that you probably like, you need to like obviously filter through and like figure out.
Only reputable sources like Vox.com.
Yeah. So things like that. So, but yeah. So
okay, I gotta look up more stuff.
Yeah, you gotta look it up. But so when it comes to things like that, then yeah, like I would support these types of like things because we want our representatives to make laws and to make things fair for all of us, and those I would get behind something like that, right? But I'm not gonna get behind like a bunch of idiots that think that the election was stolen because their guy didn't win. Like, that's just dumb. Like,
yeah, that is dumb.
That's just stupid.
That's a whole bunch of folks.
And I think they're doing a good thing by getting John Schaffer from Ice to Earth and rounding all those people up and like at least slapping them with charges. I just don't think all those charges are going to hold. Like, I really don't.
They don't have to. But there's few things worse than being in the system. Even if you're white, when you're in the system, like, you still have to explain to every job why you got arrested. Like, why you spent time in jail. Why you
exactly. Parole. So,
and it's like, I mean, like, even McDonald's gonna be like, you participated in the insurrection? We make money off this country. Get out of here.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, that's why I think at the end of the day, it's good to be doing that. Even though all those people probably won't see jail time, they may not even get the charges to stick, but just the fact that they got arrested and they made that like national headlines and stuff, people are going to think twice about like, okay, like, how are we going to approach these things? You know what I'm saying? And I think it sets, regardless, in some way, it sets a precedent to show like, it doesn't matter who you are, you can't get away with something like that, right? Yeah. White or black, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're going to have to deal with the consequences within the ramifications of the law. So.
Yeah. Well, speaking of ramifications, Iced Earth might have been dropped by their record.
Yeah, they're not like showing up on Century Media's site anymore.
By the way, okay, I saw this on the PRP, but the credit is Metal Sucks. Is Metal Sucks like the main place to get like rock news? Because they broke the Tommy Vex stuff. They broke the domestic violence Tommy Vex stuff. Got to be specific when you talk about Tommy Vex of Bad Wolves. And they broke like a whole bunch of other stuff recently. Like, why are they seeming to be like the breaker of news lately?
They really are a lot of the times. They're like one of the top sites for that. They're pretty left. Like they're pretty
really.
Yeah, they're definitely really left. But
I'll be looking at these comment sections of some of these articles, man.
Like,
it is not left at all.
Metal Sucks is definitely a really left. Well, because a lot of people have found out that they're like, because they've posted a lot of stuff like supporting things that, social issues and stuff that you would attribute to these people would be like the left, like those lefties or whatever.
Right.
So a lot of their a lot of the fan base, unfortunately, will just go and be like, oh, you guys are just being pussies, blah, blah, whatever. Anyway, so, because we know all those people, there's too many people that are like Five Finger Death Punch that also think that Trump should have won the election. So that's just what rock and metal is. But they've always been pretty on top of getting a lot of the news and stuff. But, I think between them, like the top three that have the most, like I think viewership, Blabbermouth, Metal Sucks, and Metal Injection.
Metal Injection.
Okay. But like realistically, I think Blabbermouth is probably a pretty big one. But it's hard to tell because you got the PRP; they're pretty damn huge. You've got, like I said, like you said, Metal Sucks, Blabbermouth. You've got Metal Injection. So those are all pretty well-known websites, rock, metal sites. So I'm not surprised that Metal Sucks get a lot of those stories. I see a lot of stuff come up on Metal Sucks from Facebook. So yeah, to me, it's normal for them to break those stories.
Well, I'm gonna definitely check them first, and I might have to put them in some type of RSS feed. I don't even know how to work an RSS feed still.
I literally don't use Reddit at all. I am not a Reddit person.
No, I didn't say Reddit. I said RSS feed.
No, I know, but that's where I started hearing like the term RSS.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't
use
it.
Like a buddy of mine sent me. He told me about an app that I could get that I could like categorize all my RSS feeds, and like, nah. I tried. Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't understand RSS feeds. Maybe I'll try and figure it out later. But for now, I'm gonna just focus on this whole Iced Earth thing, because like Iced Earth put out a good like generic message. They said as part of their message, and I'm reading this on the PRP.com as they got it from Metal Sucks. First and foremost, we absolutely do not condone, nor do we support riots or the acts of violence that the rioters were involved in on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol building. We hope that all those involved that day are brought to justice to be investigated and answer for their actions. Now, they didn't call out John Schaffer in that quote, but since he was one of the rioters, they're basically saying one of their band members is like, yo, we hope he gets prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Which is, you would expect that from a guy who participated in insurrection, but like, why would that get them dropped from Century Media? That's what I don't understand. Like, they've been with them forever.
Okay. Right now in the United States, we're living in a really weird time. Like
a little bit.
People are very sensitive right now. Do I agree with it? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. It really depends. Right now, it's very like you just have to be really careful what you do with your brand and how you go about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, as we've spoken before, the internet giveth, the internet taketh away. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like a lot of people, for example, for a long time when the internet didn't exist, people thought that there wasn't that many gay people, right? There was just like, they're just choosing, right? Like, and you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're dumb, and that's not true at all.
A little bit, yeah.
Right? Now, so what ends up happening is now, those groups of people, let's say like, gay, lesbian, whatever, transgender, all these people, they now have a voice. Like, they have a place to be able to voice their concerns, have their voices heard because of the internet. Because now, like, there's a lot of gay people. There's a lot of people that have, that are Satanists. There's a lot of people that are atheists. There's before, we just lived in these little bubbles that we just thought, like, those things were there, but we just never stepped outside of our box. Now you're stepping outside of that, and you're seeing a lot that there's a lot of diversity and a lot of things out there, right? Even in black communities, right? Like, even without the internet before, it was like, Rodney King, for example, like, that was still insular to South Central LA, right? Like, that was in that area, right? Had it not been on the news on national television, we probably wouldn't have ever heard about it. If that were to happen now, bro, it'd be like on Twitter, TikTok, like, it'd be on everything, right?
Yeah.
So, despite how you may feel about whatever issue is going on, these groups have a voice, and they're very powerful voices, right? Women have a voice now, like a very powerful voice.
Yes.
It's so powerful that it became a literal movement, Me Too, right? And then it became this thing where, like, I'm being Me Too, I'm being Me Too. It's like, no, you're just being called out for being an asshole.
Yes.
And they finally have a way to go around it.
Yes.
Right? So.
Oh my God, I can't even say. If Me Too was around probably about, I want to say about 15 years ago, I probably would have been caught up in some of that nonsense because I was being an asshole.
Dude, if Me Too existed in 1982, the entire man population would be kicked off into like its own little island and set on fire. Okay?
Like, I can't even watch movies from like the 70s, 80s, and 90s no more because, like, I feel like when you look back on how women were regarded, like, and I mean even the movies where they were like respected and involved, like, let's take, what's the movie with Bill Murray where he plays like a soldier and he like,
ooh, I don't know.
Okay, anyway,
I know what you're Bill Murray. Okay.
Stripes.
Yeah.
Like, he was in there, I think, with Dan Aykroyd, and it was a funny ass movie. But the women were entirely for decoration to kind of show off the sex appeal of the main characters.
Yeah.
And they had like no presence or understanding of their own. They were literally there to be spun off of. Like, and that's all the movies back then.
Yeah. So I mean, and you're seeing that now. People are getting upset because of like Tropic Thunder. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting mad about that. You know what I'm saying? That came out.
Tropic Thunder was risky back then.
Yeah, exactly. So now
people, it's like, ooh.
People are discovering these things and they're getting mad about it. How do I personally feel about things like that? Like, I don't know. I have my own. There, everybody has their own level of bias. Everybody has their own level of what, like, they find comedically funny. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure that Century Media is looking at this and going, like, there's a lot of people out there. The election proved there's a lot of people that do not like Trump or Trump supporters, right? Like, a lot.
A lot.
Do you really want to take the chance on your brand having to deal with these people that are going to come out there and basically, like, just lambaste your business and like, do you really want to be a part of that? Even if it seems kind of extreme, it's kind of like I don't feel like that they have a lot of options right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not one of those. It's like
still seems harsh. Like, I'm not a fan of Ice Earth's music. I'm damn sure ain't a fan of John Schaffer or anything he's done before or since. But, like, killing him off the label, like, that's some stuff. Like, and mind you, we don't know if they've been killed off the label. Just know they're no longer on Century Media's list of bands.
But let's take this example, right? And this could show collective bias in any way. But, like,
and after this, we'll move on.
Yeah. So the bass player of oh my gosh, what's their name? They got into that bus accident. The Ghost Inside, right?
Okay.
Bass player of Ghost Inside has been in the band since day one, right? Was in the band since day one. Okay. Lived through that bus accident, got super screwed up. They all got super screwed up. They finally recover after like 4 years in recovery. They're finally gonna get together, right? There's a guy in a band, a black drummer, who went on Twitter and, like, basically accused the bass player of the Ghost Inside of saying the N-word like 12 or 13 years ago, right?
Okay.
It got so bad that the band had a choice. Mind you, these are guys that literally almost died in a bus accident in Texas, lost their entire band.
Golly.
Worked so hard to get all this back, right? To get back into better health or whatever like that. And 12 years ago, this guy says some dumbass, ignorant shit. For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this other guy dreads it up, you know, making that comment. The band is now seeing all of these people like, oh, what a piece of shit. What are they going to do, right? What did they do? They decided to kick him out of the band.
Damn.
Which is really shitty. Like, I think that's a shitty thing to do. But I see both sides of that equation, right? Like, so, like, I don't think anybody's in a good position right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, those are situations where it's kind of like, I can't be mad at anybody on either side of that, like, argument. I really don't. Like, that, to me, that's like a personal, like, where do you sit on that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it again, that doesn't surprise me that they would do that. If this was 10 years ago, they'd still be on the website. Whatever. It wouldn't have been a big deal. Like, they would have just. But the public is starting to show that they have a lot of power.
Nah, man.
You know?
We've discussed this before, but there is more of an understanding amongst white people of the ideas of systemic racism and how it affects black people, and concurrently how it also affects white people and how it diminishes opportunity for everybody while the ruling classes just get more money, more power. And now people are speaking up on behalf of black people, and it's like nothing we've ever seen before. But before we go into a whole other thing, God, we did some chatty Cathy's in here, man. Ex-Iron Maiden singer Paul Di'Anno has started a crowdfunding campaign for his long overdue knee surgery. And I was like, that is the most unfortunately old man headline for an article I have ever seen. Like, this guy was part of Iron Maiden. They're like, they launched a crowdfunding campaign for his long overdue knee surgery.
Yeah, facts.
It's like, damn, dude. They couldn't have just, they've been like, the only way they could have made it worse is, and his new dentures.
Yeah, right.
It's like, good grief. So basically, he's been holding off on knee surgery for 5 to 6 years. And now he's like, yo, I got to get this done. So the campaign wants to raise $20,000, 20,000 pounds, excuse me. So that's about 27 grand.
Yeah.
And he started a GoFundMe, or it's something different over there. Just Giving. That's the website. And so far, he's already raised $4 grand. So that's a good sign for a guy who used to be a member of Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
But, like, I went over to Tommy Veck's crowdfunding campaign.
Oh, he's already like at like an insane number.
He's 127,000, and he's probably gonna hit 200 before the 30 days are up. And I'm like, this dude isn't trying to get his knee back so he can sing for people. He just, he wants to pay for his studio time, and just. Like, the idea that Tommy Veck stays winning while my man here, he's probably been holding off on the knee surgery because he couldn't afford it.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he ain't touring with Iron Maiden. Like, when they tour, they play arenas, man. Like, he ain't with them. He's with his band in a 500-seater, maybe a dive bar, hoping folks will pay attention.
And in Europe, like, they have universal health care, but when it comes to, like, surgeries and stuff, those things don't always, like... Because it's not like a necessity, like, per se. Like, it's one of those.
But, like,
it's
walking
weird.
And getting around is kind of a thing.
Well, don't quote me because I don't know how these laws work over there. But you get free healthcare to see all these, to see doctors and to do whatever, right? To go for emergencies and everything else. But when you start getting into like surgeries and stuff like that, that may not be for things that are non-life threatening.
Okay.
Then I think
And it's
stipulations.
the time of COVID.
I think there's stipulations and stuff on that. I don't know that law. I don't know how that works over there. I lived in countries with universal health care. My knowledge is very limited. But I'm pretty sure that's kind of what that has to do with it. But still, regardless, it's still only 27 grand to get a knee surgery in Europe.
Yes, over here.
Right?
That knee surgery, oh my God.
Like 100 G's, easy.
I wouldn't say 100.
Depending on what it is, bro.
Okay,
Like,
fair
like,
enough.
like depending on who's your surgeon, right? Because let's say you have a kid and he's 17 and he's the star quarterback of the football team in his junior year and he blows out his knee. It's his ACL. What are you going to do, right? Like the kid has a future, maybe he has a future. Colleges are looking at him, and are you going to take him to, everybody's like, yeah, he's a good surgeon. Or are you going to take him to, right? Or are you going to take him to LeBron James surgeon? You know what I'm saying?
Surgeon? No, man.
Yeah, right?
No, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so
enough.
like you're looking at that surgeon, the good surgeon's $60,000, LeBron James surgeon, $180,000.
Have you heard of medical tourism?
I have, yes, where people go to other countries to literally just get procedures done.
Yeah, apparently in Thailand, like sex change surgeries, they're so good at them now, and it's so inexpensive if you're going to have your sex change, which, by the way, is like a 2-year-long process.
Oh, yeah.
But if you get to the point where they clear you for it and they allow it to happen, like, I guess you can go to Thailand and get it done for like maybe $10,000 as opposed to like, what? Like how many hundreds of thousands of dollars?
Dude, are you kidding me? They
That's
milk
why
you for everything.
Do you know how many people just go to the army and they're like, it's better for me to go in the army and get it taken care of by the government than it is for me to do like sexual reassignment surgery. It's just like bananas. So hopefully over time we'll figure out ways to make that less expensive as we move on to the next set of pay-per-views. And holy smokes. Okay, UFC.
Did they announce the rest of their fights?
No, I'm just looking at the headlines for the next several pay-per-views. Now, the link on Reddit says UFC's first 4 pay-per-views, but I see a lot more than 4 here. Now, first one, okay, this Saturday, Poirier versus McGregor. Big deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
The next one, Usman versus Burns. Now, Usman is number 1, is the champ.
Yep.
Gilbert Burns is the next guy under Colby Covington. So I guess it's his turn to catch that ass whooping. Okay? So you got those 2 there. The next one, Blachowicz versus Adesanya. So this is Adesanya going into light heavyweight for the first time to fight.
Yeah, this is his debut at light heavyweight.
Yes. So it's champion versus champion.
Blachowicz.
Yes. And it's...
Is it a title fight?
Which title? Like, it's a lightweight title. It's a light heavyweight title. So I assume the light heavyweight title...
belongs to Blachowicz.
Yeah, it belongs to Blachowicz. And if Adesanya beats him...
Is he going to take that title?
Yes, well, that's up to...
Because apparently...
Sometimes Dana lets people keep 2 titles. Other times he doesn't. For the longest, it was like, no. And then he would take the belt from you, and there'd be an interim... Like Jose Aldo, when he took like 2 different belts, like featherweight and like super lightweight or whatever the hell divisions he was in, like Dana took one of his belts and they had like an interim champion he gave it to. And so like it was all kind of weird. Like now it seems like Dana has seen kind of he's unburied his bald head from betwixt his butt cheeks and decided, just let him hold the title. If he decides he's no longer going to defend it in the other weight class, then you give it to somebody else. But not before. So, Blachowicz versus Adesanya, we don't know. I don't know if the title's on the line. I'm assuming if Blachowicz loses, Adesanya is a light heavyweight champion. And then, John Jones is in the picture. Would Cormier come out of retirement for another shot? You know? Like, there's a whole bunch of questions.
Yeah.
The next one is Nunes versus Anderson. Nunes, of course, is the champion in her division.
Yeah.
And Anderson is like several levels down because...
What's Anderson's first name?
I'm looking. Is she even ranked? Hold on a second. Am I spelling Anderson right?
I mean...
Holy smokes, what the hell? Yeah, I don't know who this chick Anderson is. I thought she was in her division, but apparently not. Who the hell is this Anderson chick?
All right.
Oh, say Google her. Google.
I'm trying to right now. Megan Anderson.
Who's Megan Anderson? Like, okay. Do we have a fight record from Megan Anderson?
Anderson.
Like oh, she's 11-4-0 according to UFC stats.
I've heard her name. I've heard Megan.
Yeah, but she ain't ranked, yo. She about to die.
She about to die.
She going in there against Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes is a killer. Amanda Nunes, she be snatching chicks' braids out and slapping them with them. Like it's
but Megan Anderson looks pretty ripped, bro.
She's 11-4. I'm sure she did quite well for herself. But this is Amanda Nunes. I mean, Amanda Nunes hasn't lost in, I don't know, like 6-7 years.
Nah,
she has stomped the hell out of every female she has beat. Like, it's not even close.
Nah, man, Amanda Nunes, like
you told me Amanda Nunes is a BJJ black belt, and we ain't even got that far because she punches everybody to pieces.
Yeah, no, she's no joke, man.
Like, so Anderson, we'll see how deep she goes into there. And then there's Yan versus Sterling, which is going to be good. But I'm more concerned about Miocic versus Ngannou. In March, we're getting that one.
We're finally going to see Miocic fight again.
Yes.
Versus Francis Ngannou?
Yes, Francis Ngannou, who's been begging for a title fight. He's beaten everybody he could in the division. I'm
going to tell you this right now. When I saw Cormier versus Miocic, I was like, I wasn't impressed by Miocic.
Me neither.
I thought, whatever. But
he looks like a guy who should be in the ring, but you don't think he should hold the medal. I
think that Francis Ngannou is gonna obliterate that man. Every time I see Francis Ngannou's highlights or he's in the ring, I'm always like, bro, that guy is going to rip your throat out.
Yes.
So yeah, I don't know. I find myself being drawn to saying that Miocic is probably going to lose that belt for sure.
I don't know, man. I mean, Cormier, to my knowledge, never fought Ngannou. Let's see. Daniel Cormier. Wiki. We're going to look up Daniel Cormier's record and see how the hell did he ever fight Ngannou? Control F, Ngan. No. He never fought Francis Ngannou.
Who? Cormier?
Cormier.
No, he never fought Ngannou.
So, look, if Stipe had a match that he lost to Daniel Cormier, and then he beat Daniel Cormier twice, which is a hard thing to do because, I mean, make no mistake, Daniel Cormier, he's kind of, I don't know why he's a sneak one, but he is one of the best fighters of all time. If John Jones did not exist and Stipe had never come around, or if Gabe Hernandez hadn't been friends with him, at some point, I tell you, Daniel Cormier could have held concurrently the heavyweight and the light heavyweight belts and defended them both.
He's a great fighter. But what I'm saying is the last fight that they had, their third bout, I didn't look at that fight and go, oh yeah, Miocic really beat him up. I was like, he got a couple good shots in and blinded the guy by mistake. Did you say steak?
Okay, yeah, he did put a finger in his eye.
Yeah, so, but I mean,
what is it like? Cormier couldn't see out the eye for a week.
Yeah.
I can't see out of my left eye.
But that fight wasn't I looked at that fight and think there was it didn't feel like Stipe was leaps and bounds above Cormier. It just looked like he was able to get a few more hits in than Cormier. Cormier to me just seemed like he was being a tactician for too long, and where Stipe was just let me go in there and get some shots in. But at the end of the fight, Cormier didn't look like shit except having that bum ass eye of his that he had a finger in it. But yeah, so I don't know. Long story short, man, Ngannou I think is gonna take that belt from Stipe real quick.
All right, I'm gonna go for Stipe, and we'll see what goes. We'll put $1 on it. How about that?
Do it.
Okay, I got $1 on Stipe Miocic. You got $1 on Francis Ngannou.
I got $1 on Ngannou.
All right, we'll see what happens. So it's time for our
Who's making news in the world of fight sports? We'll find out in the Haymaker hashtag.
Haymaker hashtag? Yeah.
Haymaker hashtag, baby.
Hell yeah.
And here's the thing. Excuse me, I keep belching. I didn't even drink anything, and I'm belching. It's weird. But our Haymaker hashtag today is 10 weeks in Portugal. Now, why is that? Well, apparently, Conor McGregor kind of had a whole new approach to training. He got involved with an Irish cycling champion named Julian Dalby, who brought on this guy named Byrne, Julian Dalby is an exercise physiologist.
Okay.
And Byrne is another guy that he works with, Colin Byrne, who's a former pro cyclist.
Okay.
And together, they started working with Colin McGregor after he lost to Nate Diaz.
Okay.
Because even though Colin was pissed about not being in condition, he was more pissed about the fact that, like, he didn't know why he was in, and he blamed it on doing all the whatchamacallit, the what do you call it, the media?
Yeah.
Doing all the media stuff kind of threw him off his workouts. But he's like, nah, it's just he struggled because of the cardio. So, he started doing a whole bunch of different routines, and it has changed him as a fighter. And one thing that kind of threw me for a loop was when they studied him, they were like, yeah, you've overtrained. He's like, excuse me? They're like, yeah, you've overtrained. So
Excuse me?
Yes. So in one of their early workouts, in preparing for a fight, they had him do 5 30-second sprints on the rowing machine. And that was the entire workout. And McGregor was like, that's not enough. So he started doing chin-ups and looking to do other stuff. And Byrne is like, no, we're done. This is pre-ESPN. And now you go home, you have some food, you have a nap, and you come and do the second session. That's the way it works. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. So what they developed a system of working out and relaxation where he would like work out for 4 days a week and then like rest for 1 and then work out for 4 days a week and then rest for 1. And then on the 4th week, he doesn't work out at all. No, nothing. Just they will do other stuff like yoga, like climbing, like biking, like all types of other stuff. And real chill stuff just to keep your body going, but it's entirely focused on rest because their numbers, as they analyze his heart rate and everything else, they found that this way he actually cuts weight easier and quicker, and he was more successful in the ring because he beat the hell out of Donald Cerrone. Wow. Yeah, he beat Donald Cerrone in 40 seconds. So.
Oh, no, yeah, he beat the crap.
Now, the thing is, he was doing this training as he went up against Khabib, and they said he screwed up. He didn't listen. Like, he was listening to us up until, I think, the Donald Cerrone fight, and then when it went against Khabib, he started to push himself a little bit extra. He started to work too hard, overworked his body, and
I have a theory on why he lost to Conor, to Khabib too. It's really simple. There were so many distractions for that guy. I don't think that guy's head was ever in that fight. Like, not the way it should have been. He was dealing with court cases from throwing that stupid thing through the bus. He was dealing with court cases from punching that guy or whatever it was.
Yeah.
From that, he was he was becoming a social pariah. Had all that going on. I think his girl was pregnant on top of that, and then so you got all these things going on. Then he's trying to do all the press rounds, and then he's trying to train, and he's going up against a guy that he absolutely hates and is in trouble for because of him. I don't think that guy's head was in the fight the way it should have been, bro. It's just like with Donald Cerrone. When I saw Donald Cerrone come on the ring, I was like, who the hell is this guy in the ring? That's not Donald Cerrone. Did they just it felt like they just put a pigeon inside of a lion cage and they're like, have fun, figure it out. I watch the highlights of that fight and I'm like, Cerrone did nothing. He threw a kick.
Well, that's the trick when you're fighting someone like McGregor. Because McGregor, he is a great initial puncher. Yeah. But he's best as a counter puncher. Because that's how he gets you. You throw a punch or a kick and he sees the hole in your defense and then he punishes you for it. that's what he does.
Yeah.
That's how he punched the hell out of Jose Aldo and beat him in like record time. That's in the clips I saw of him versus Donald Cerrone. That's how he
5
beat
seconds or something like that.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Yeah, in the first round, he smoked him. Like Donald Cerrone.
No, didn't they say like, dude, it was way less than 40 seconds because
No, it
I'm
was
pretty
40
sure
seconds.
that fight was the one where like they yell start and he like throws a punch and then he ducks and then Jose comes in with another punch and like McGregor clicks him right on the chin. Oh, Jose is just like mid punch, face on the mat, on the canvas, done, sleeping.
Yeah, let's see. Against Conor McGregor, 40 seconds into the first round.
Wow. Okay.
Like I'm looking at Cerrone's record. Ooh. His losses.
We talked about this.
Yeah, his loss record right now is a who's who of like who is in the promotion or is about to be out of the promotion to make money somewhere else. He got TKO'd by Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
He got TKO'd by Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
He got TKO'd by Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Then he lost by decision to Anthony Pettis, who then left the UFC, and then he fought Nico Price. I don't know who the hell Nico Price is, but he's a whole lot of nobody. His price ain't too high.
Yeah,
So,
as I've said before, I think Cerrone needs to, just retire and enjoy his standing in the laurels of the UFC history, as he was a very good fighter. But I just think, it's weird. I guarantee if you look at. It's weird. Once fighters hit like 37 or get close to the age of 37 or above, it's like you see their records start going down. I guarantee Donald is somewhere in the 37 age range, maybe a little older.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I kind of assume that most guys at that level are just fighting to collect a paycheck. They don't have the fire to actually hurt somebody. And it's typical with a man. At some point, you just don't have that burning in your soul to demolish another human being.
Yeah.
Like even Fedor Emelianenko. Like that guy was just straight killing people in the ring.
Yeah.
And then he started losing. And it was the weirdest thing. But clearly he just ain't had the same fire. Like he was losing to people he would have destroyed a decade previously.
Yeah.
But it's just around 36, 37, your kids are getting to be in their early teens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. It's one of those things.
And,
you start feeling it, man. You really do.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. Anyway, we've reached another end to an episode of Beats and Beatdowns
with camera, bitches.
Yeah, second episode on camera. So now you see what our beautiful mugs look like more often. So make sure you check us out on IG, Facebook, Beats ABD, IG, Beats and Beatdowns, Facebook. Make sure you get us a nice little review so that we can go higher up in the platform and wherever you listen.
Only,
5
suckers.
stars, please. The algorithm recognizes that. Leave a review if you want. And as always, make sure you can send us an email if there are any suggestions that you have for stories or anything like that. Make sure you check out my band, Heartsick Band, on IG, on Facebook, Heartsick Official on YouTube. Make sure you check out. What's the name of that
song you guys just dropped?
Thrill of the Hunt. You can check that out. It's doing pretty damn well. Make sure you add us on Spotify, follow us. And if you feel like listening to us on the radio on Saturday nights, make sure you download the Q106 app. You can check out all the stuff that they have there. We're on the radio. They're on rotation in Michigan and Wisconsin, Saturday nights from 7 to midnight. So many ways to support us. Go to our merch store at heartsick.us, buy something. And as always, 305 till I die.
Thanks for listening to Beats and Beatdowns. Review us and give us 5 stars wherever you find us on Apple or Google Podcasts, Stitches, or any other app or directory. And keep up to date with everything we're up to on our Instagram and Twitter pages at Beats ABD. That's Beats ABD.